I've been on me since we walked into this building. Don't do that.
It's okay. Sorry.
I'm sensitive.
It's all right. So let me turn this
A
down.
song? Nah.
Welcome in, everyone. If you're just getting here, as we are as well, you're right on time. Nothing has happened yet. You haven't missed anything. We're just getting started. And I'm going to be honest, tonight, I really don't know a lot about what's happened in the past week because I've been trying to transition from cable to apps.
Just streaming.
Yeah.
It's so easy. You want to come do it for you tomorrow?
I asked you to do that.
I'll come tomorrow. I'm
months
off
ago.
tomorrow. Don't do that. Don't.
What
You
y'all
know,
doing?
it's personal.
Like,
You know what?
She's switching over. She has cable, which
I
is
had
so
it,
crazy.
and I just turned the box in and told them to minimize.
But she's always had Hulu and stuff, and I'm like, what? Why don't you use it? And you paying for cable? That's crazy.
Oh, I do that.
That don't make no
I
sense.
like to just turn the TV on.
Right.
You can't just turn the TV on.
Do you get local news?
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
well, then I need you to come over to my house. Too.
Right. Right.
Y'all need to make appointments for tomorrow.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and because of that, I haven't really seen the news. I've been following some tweets. I follow a couple of my breaking news tweets as a
Mhm.
broadcaster, but the thing like content, yeah, I don't have it other than my own life, and apparently that is too much for TV and radio.
Well, a few things happen.
Okay,
Joe Biden.
What he do?
that's the president of the United States of America.
Yeah, they
I know
found confidential information. Basically, he Donald Trump.
What?
Yeah, baby. So I think that they were cleaning out one of his offices. And they found classified information. That's what it's called.
Okay.
In his office. Now, I don't know why he had it.
What
He-
kind of classified information?
They haven't said yet.
And he is the president.
like
so
certain
like,
stuff he has.
It
should all
was
be
from when
classified.
he was under Obama's administration.
Oh, so he was hiding stuff.
I'm not really sure yet, but
May-
there definitely will be an investigation.
He got a little touch of dementia, so he might didn't know he
Now
was
he
doing
is
it.
cooperating.
Yeah, because he probably don't remember doing it or why he did it.
Why you take that stuff home, bro?
but okay, so it's at his house.
It was in one of his offices, so
And it-
they were cleaning out.
One of his offices at his house or one of the offices in the White
No,
House?
it wasn't
An
at the
office.
It wasn't at the White House, and it wasn't at his house. It was at an off-site office
just a random
that
office.
they were cleaning out, and these classified documents were found.
I can see how that happens. Hey,
I
it's a
can't.
lot of Manila folders.
You're
and
not
this one
supposed
is not
to.
labeled.
That's like a HIPAA violation.
I had to
can't,
read
you
over
can't
it.
take the medical records home.
I have to work from home sometimes.
No, ma'am.
No, that doesn't work.
Say, okay. Jenica, what you say? Let's see. She said no top secret file. So like I said, you all are hipping me to what has happened. So has something broken since then, saying that this is not what happened. Oh, now somebody said, please stop making excuses for him. It was more than one piece in one file. And
Yeah, it was like
found
10 files.
in his
Oh.
garage.
Yeah,
Garage.
Ken, what was in them?
they ain't said that yet.
Files of what?
They was more classified.
Oh.
Can't you buy a classified stamp
Yeah.
and put that?
Okay, now see y'all playing. Okay,
I'm
yeah,
that's
Amazon,
serious.
Amazon got everything.
Right. And a watermark, I can put that behind any document and say, Courtney, this is top secret, confidential, and
well,
top priority, high class, reserved, restricted. Don't take it home.
you catch it on C-SPAN. That's all I can tell you.
All right. So that happened. So okay. I just don't want to, Ken, I don't want to put him with I don't want to put him in with
45.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but Trump was not cooperating. Those documents were found in a raid, and there were over 300 documents when they found them.
Yeah, right. Know what can stay and what can go. When you have your own office that is not the government's property or the citizens' property, that's a different conversation. Now, if you're an attorney, I don't even know if this is ethically safe for them, but if you're an attorney or a doctor or a therapist, you may have, you may take your stuff from one place to the next, but I wonder, what weight does it hold when the president of the United States keep.
Well, if it's classified
information,
let's just say somebody said, I thought that they found it at an off-site office, but somebody said that they found it in his garage.
two people saying, Talisha just said the same. They said the files were in his garage. Are they in a tote? Are they in an old book bag?
And see, the issue with that is if somebody was cleaning it out, right, and they found it. So, like, what if some random Joe Schmo found this classified information in his garage? Depending on what it is, they could use it to freaking help Russia or something. I don't know.
I understand. So basically, no specific details yet, other than that he is cooperating.
He is cooperating.
All right, we'll follow that. Hopefully by tomorrow evening, my TV will be working, and I'll be able to do some surfing and see what I can put together. Make some phone calls.
What else happened this week? Prayers to the people in Selma.
Yeah. Definitely. So we were bracing for bad weather, as we always are. We're often bracing for bad weather.
Right. I had to go pick my son up from school.
And I still had people trying to come to the office. I'm like, it's a whole possible tsunami outside.
But I need to talk to somebody.
I got you. So the people in Selma really were impacted to the point where some lost their homes. Were there any fatalities?
No, there were no fatalities.
Awesome. But the loss of property and everything
it's pretty bad.
Is bad too. So.
And I saw a post that Blue made, shout out to Blue. But he was asking if they claimed like a state of emergency. Is that what it's called when they need special funding?
Yep.
And I don't think that has happened yet. Or even if it will happen. And somebody else made a good point under his post. It's not being talked about on the news anymore. You know, when things have happened in the past, Tuscaloosa, and some of those other one-off places, it stays on the news for days.
Yeah. Is it because there were no fatalities?
It shouldn't matter.
Okay.
The city is torn, like really, really torn. So I think the spotlight should be shined on it just as much because they need help there. And it's a poor city, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And actually, I just saw a post today saying that the help in the funds and things are running low there because like the trucks and everything, they had the supplies on it, people are stealing it. So they don't even have the proper equipment and stuff to even continue their work forward.
Hey, Ryan Golden and Miss Harris says, build back Selma better. And what comes to mind for me is Birmingham is a major city, like major because it's major. It was and may still be for right now, I guess, the biggest city in the state. But Selma, Bloody Sunday, very much controversial. Black belt. Is it black belt? Even if it ain't black belt, it's real black and it's off. Like Courtney said, a one-off type of place. So maybe it's a racial thing. You know, we hate to say everything is racial, but it could be racial.
Everything is racial.
I know, but I know a couple of white people in Selma too.
And somebody else made a good point. And this they may have been speaking to something else, but it was about, I may have been listening to Chris Coleman, and he was just talking about how Kay Ivey doesn't really frequent Birmingham, right? Nope. And that's because we're not a city who puts out a large amount of votes for her. So could it be one of those things where Selma doesn't put out a large amount of votes for Kay Ivey or what's the other lady's name? Who just took office? The real scary lady, Katie Britt.
The real what lady?
Scary lady. Katie Britt. So Selma may not get
the real big husband.
He's so big. God.
So
he's distracting whenever he's
really
around.
Like,
I don't even know what she.
It's like a cartoon.
In them commercials that they did.
Yeah, you see. Okay.
And then like even watching her give her acceptance speech, I don't know what she said. I was just staring at him like,
why you so big?
And his belly button.
Yeah, no, he's a former NFL football player.
Okay. And he needs to stop being so big around her.
Around everybody.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So maybe that is true. And I, like we said, we have to go for the obviousness of these different situations. Terry Sewell does an amazing job. Congresswoman Terry Sewell does an amazing job of representing her areas and making these trips and visits. And I wonder if that's on her list of things to do.
So she was on the news.
Okay.
She did talk about it. And that's because she is from Selma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She didn't really give a whole lot of information in though, but that was like right after it happened, so I don't think she had a lot of information at that point.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep watching Selma. I'm going to go with the fact that no one died.
No, nobody died.
That's what I'm gonna go with. So because nobody died and people lose stuff every day, hopefully I had insurance. Maybe the attitude that they're taking.
And most people don't.
And that's why they're taking that attitude, because
Why don't you have insurance?
yeah, y'all black. Okay.
Oh boy.
Any other opinions on that or any thoughts on it? Anybody in Birmingham from Selma? There are tons of people that we know with Selma roots and ties to Selma. If you're listening and you know something that we don't know, or you've experienced something, or maybe somebody's come around and knocked to do an assessment or something like that, let us know. You can call us up at 994-8949, 994-8949. You can also comment on the feed and let us know. Yeah. What up, Courtney Beasley? Hey, thank you much. Thank you much.
Okay. I'm just looking on CNN. 6 people did die though.
Is Selma?
It just says in Alabama. 6 Alabamians were lost to the storms that ravaged across our state.
Mm-hmm.
The governor didn't say where in the state the fatalities occurred, but there were 5 storm-related deaths in Autauga County, according to Coroner Buster Barber.
Buster. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's his name on his birth certificate. The twister likely was on the ground for at least 50 miles and caused damage in 7 counties across the state. National Service meteorologist from CNN. It was pretty significant tornado with debris lofted in the air to about 10,000 to 15,000 feet. The tornado was likely at EF2 or EF3. It was one of at least 34 tornadoes in the U.S. that day. It was bad. So prayers for those families that did lose someone wherever it was.
So we got a Vital Villager helping us out in the comments with a link to the WSFA news story, saying that the governor did declare a state of emergency in 6 counties. Now, I want to be able to click on this link to see if Selma is included. I would think so. But I'm posting that to our feed. If you're watching, you can copy, paste, and click on that and follow the news story. Thank you, Ken, for that.
So a state of emergency, what does that exactly do in those communities?
It opens up funding, right?
Yeah.
Do they send funding to those individuals, or they just send it to their city council and let the city council decide where it goes? Like, how does that work?
Those are good questions. Google, Alexa, state of emergency funding, because I only know what I've seen in previous situations where it's been declared a state of emergency. It does mean that federal funds will be released for cleanup.
But I don't think we can't go down and just pick up a check.
It's not a check, right?
No.
It's federal funding that is given to the area, and the breakdown on that.
Okay, so when Katrina went through New Orleans, and we were in college, and we saw all those kids that were here were getting checks.
FEMA, so thinking about the extreme conditions associated with Katrina, how that was life altering for people that weren't even in New Orleans, right? Like watching the news, and for days and days, you got people on top of their roofs. You got bodies floating in the water around you.
And remember, who was the president? George Bush. He didn't declare a state of emergency right away.
And remember, Kanye said during that state of emergency, because he didn't respond immediately, George Bush doesn't care about black people. That's how that came about.
Had he responded in a more appropriate manner, I don't think. It still would have been bad, but I don't think that it would have been as bad. People would have been able to get help a lot sooner.
Okay. You think about how life happens and what the acts of God that we can't control. Like if a tornado comes, I watched the tornado from a friend of mine porch. I was standing on Greg Davis's porch when the tornadoes came in, what year was it? 15 when they went to Pratt. Standing on the porch in Inslee, watching them go to Pratt. And not thinking that, oh man, it's about to go cause some serious devastation, because we were in it. And it was sunny where I was standing, like maybe a mile and a half away. A whole tornado hit, knocks over tons of houses, kills people,
And you just
and
standing on the porch.
we watching it go that way. We went to Greg's house because Greg had a basement. So it was a couple of us over there. But at that point, it's not raining. It's sunny where we stand. And just a few feet away, devastation is about to happen. So just thinking about like how we can be in these situations or be near these situations and still not understand how catastrophic it is. We like our lights may have been out. We may have had some damage, some shingles may have blown off or something like that, but we weren't without we didn't, like that. We didn't experience what Pratt experienced in Inslee Highlands or in Bush Hills or down in Inslee. That ain't what we saw. So I can only imagine like how we were bracing for bad weather here, but then Selma gets hit. You never know when that's gonna happen. So there's no way you can pack your house up and be prepared, really be prepared for a storm. No kind of storm. So like in the season where, okay, you got snowstorms, you got blizzards, you got all types of things that could happen. How do you prepare for that? How do you prepare for a catastrophe?
I don't know, because I mean, like you said, when the tornadoes came through Inslee and Pratt City and stuff, we all live here.
Yeah.
Actually, my mom was
In the
Pratt City,
area,
right
right.
then. We just kind of was just like, I mean, we'll just listen for the siren, and if we're supposed to go to a safe space or a safe place, we'll do that. But other than that, like, I've never been instructed on what to do.
Yes, you have, because we used to have tornado drills.
Yeah, you sit in the hallway with a book on your head.
That was so stupid.
And at home, you get in the tub.
Right, or in a closet.
And if you got so
rooms with no windows. I mean, other than that, that's all you can do. Is just sit somewhere scared.
All right, no preparation though. Like you just kind of you try to wait it out and keep your loved ones close. Hover over and pray that you can fight through it. Dang, that's just so like that. So considering that level of vulnerability, and then you have to wait on an elected official to say that this is an emergency. What?
But then she can she can resent it when she feel like it too.
That was, or not even issue.
Mhm.
When the tornadoes hit over in Powderland, we don't know where I'm from. When they did, when was that? 2017, 2018
on Christmas, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah,
Day.
she ain't saying nothing.
She said that there was not. Well, they found it to not be enough damage to declare a state of emergency.
Not enough damage. Okay. Ken, I
Alright,
think you're
then.
on to something here. Ken says, now we Black Birmingham need to kick in as we have done others in this time, or have done for others in this time of need. Right. We sending water to Jackson, Mississippi.
And there has been no talk about sending anything to Selma.
Okay. So, Ken, think you're on to something, buddy. And in the past, Vital has definitely always been in the front of making sure that we did our part at collecting. And
but is that because there's no
delivering.
major spotlight on Selma? Like I said, it's not on the news. It's not being talked about.
Birmingham is hosting
Okay.
a supply drive for Selma residents.
Oh, good.
It says on Saturday, workers from Birmingham and Hoover traveled to Selma.
Oh, this already happened.
With
What?
heavy equipment to help
got no
clear the
TV.
roadways. Now Birmingham, along with Christian Service Mission and Will Record Services, is preparing to host a supply drive for the residents.
Good.
Very good, Will Ricker.
Beginning Tuesday, January 17th, anyone wishing to donate needed items can drop off at the Batwell Auditorium between 7:30 a.m. and 4 p.m.
That's good.
The drive will last through Thursday, January the 19th.
All right. Well, shout outs to Birmingham.
Right.
The city provided a list of items that have been requested for the supply drive: body wash, bottled water, cleaning supplies, coats, jackets, deodorant, diapers, both adult and baby, feminine hygiene products, first aid supplies, y'all know, work gloves, all that good stuff. Anything that you would need, take it.
Yeah. Okay.
And at the Batwell, starting Tuesday through Thursday.
And that's what Miss Harris said. I didn't hear anything about donations on TV.
Yeah.
Thanks for the info. So
It's not on TV. It's on their website, but it's not on TV.
that's okay. So maybe it'll be on tomorrow. I'm glad that you all were able to shine a light on it. Like, of course, I knew about the storms, but I didn't know anything past that. Because one thing I will say this: either being forced to disconnect or choosing to disconnect, it totally keeps you out of the way. Like it really just gives you open space to be able to be positive. Like it's all positive. I knew that it happened. I didn't know anybody that was impacted personally. It makes you focus on what's in front of you. So I truly appreciate you all for bringing that to us. Thanks a lot. Okay. Before we take our first break, anybody on the stream, anything that you can think of that we need to address when we come back? Of course, we're celebrating the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I'm going to take an angle with that conversation that you probably haven't heard in a long time or ever, maybe. But I'm going to share some very personal thoughts about King Day. And I'm trying to see how to get a day.
You want a day? Woo day?
Woo day.
And what we gonna do on a day? Be festive?
Okay. Now you're thinking how I'm thinking. So I want to talk about that. And I want you to be thinking about that too. But I'm not gonna give you any more information than that. All right. So that's all I'm gonna give you. We're gonna take a quick break. And we'll be back. So, let me give y'all 2 seconds. I'm gonna give you about 2-3 seconds just to see if you all have anything that we need to look up while we're on our quick break. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Talisha says, Candace, I'm waiting on you to report the issues. So we can do that. I don't know what those issues are, but hey, we can do that.
We'll be back. Because, I don't want to start before we go to break.
So look,
It's
actually,
about Birmingham.
okay, and actually we don't have a break like that, but I do want to play this song.
I'll play the song.
So I'm gonna drop this King George Too Long right here on B94.9 WATV. You're listening to Vital. Let's take a quick music break. It do. Hey.
This song goes out to anybody that got somebody they might want to hold on to. Somebody
That man gonna knock her head between the washing machine and the dryer.
Okay, y'all rock with us. We'll be right back in a few seconds.
Out every night, running around in the club. And I had everything. Don't need enough. Some guys sent an angel straight down from up above. She came and put me on my feet and showed me the meaning of true love. Now my friends that ask me, I don't hang like I used to. Some people laugh and call me names like old man and party pooper, but I found me a good thing. He be talking like he an old man. He not. He fine. It's so come on, y'all. Can't wait too long. I gotta keep moving. My girl, she waiting. I don't wanna be fooling.
Don't be fooling.
And I ain't trying to lose it. Can't stay too long.
I
gotta keep moving. See my girl, she energized. I know that she waiting on me. With a big smile, looking real good, smelling real nice. She know I'm out on the road, doing my music thing. She know the damn days she know I'm only just a man. I'm trying to make the right decision. Some women have their own intentions. And you will be surprised what some people might do when they really want your attention. But I found me a good thing. Won't let that get in my way. Tell them when I get time I might come through, but I can't come through to stay. I gotta keep moving. My girl, she waiting. I don't wanna be fooled. I got a good thing. I ain't trying to lose it. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. My girl, she waiting. I don't wanna be fooled.
Don't be foolish, man. That boy sang that thing. B94.9 WATV on Sunday nights. The V stands for Vital. Just took a quick little music break. King George, too long. Wave your hand if you know you got a good thing. Woo! Somebody feel like me. Hey!
I said, she almost sounds, like those singers that like they get up and they sing really well, and you just like, she changing church. That's how you was just singing the song, and I know that ain't it.
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, he's singing.
I mean,
Woo. You don't have to worry. You don't have to fret. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. We just took a quick music break. Hey, it can't stay too long. We got to keep moving. All right. V94.9 WATV. The V stands for Vital. Lady Wu is in. Also, Jita with her juice. And Candy Black. Where's it? All right. So, look. King Day is today. We're celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther the King Jr. And, you think about how long ago he was born. And even now, how long ago it's been since he died or since he was killed. And the idea that this one man, Martin Luther King Jr., this one man who was not the president of the United States. He was not a senator. He was not a city councilor. He was not the mayor of anywhere. He was not rich. He was not wealthy. He was not an influencer in that way. He was not a lot of things, right? He was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was an educated young Black guy who cared about causes. He was a minister. He preached the gospel of Jesus Christ, and he loved people so much so that he got in the midst of almost everything. People call him, hey, Martin, hey, Doc, we need you to come on down to Birmingham. Hey, Doc, we need you to fly up to D.C. Hey, bruh, we need you to come out to the West Coast. Hey, yo, we need you to come down the floor. Like, oh. So y'all call me for everything. And guess what I do? I get involved in women's rights walks. I get involved in Vegas. I go to Vegas and meet with these women, these mothers who feel like the system and food stamps and all that. Like, I get involved in all of that. And here we are this was a 64, over almost 50 years ago, he was killed. But before he was killed, he was born. So he lived a life that apparently moved so many people that now and still we celebrate King Day. Do you know, can you think of, like, first of all, the magnitude of that? And that's just that's the very short Cliff Note version of it. But like the magnitude of living a life like that, where even when I smoke a cigarette and shoot pool, people think that like that, not Dr. King, right? But yeah, Dr. King, he's a man.
He was a human
with children and a wife that lived, gave, served, and really changed the trajectory and landscape of the United States of America because of his servitude, his leadership and his servitude. And I just want to know, like, can any of us think of anybody that has given that much to society that 60, 50, 30, 40 years later, everybody is able to, hey, Chuck, good to see you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my brother. You walked in right on time. The magnitude of a life. Like we know. Did you hear me? Did you like it? You liked it. You liked it,
Hey,
Chuck.
Chuck.
Hi. Hello.
Oh gosh. The life, like to live a life like that. We don't have bad stories because of course we weren't around. And I guess we all know that to anybody's good life, there are some things that may be questionable, or somebody was mad at him. I mean, he owed somebody $20 or something, or you cheated on my sister or something. There were some things that happened, but overall, we are celebrating the life of a man who served. And I'm just wondering, like, can we, with that much time that has passed and that many people who have served, can we ever, is anybody else, anybody else's contributions, or will we forever be saying, well, because of Dr. King, so-and-so was able to run, huh?
People forget about other people
Okay, so like Shuttlesworth Day, we don't know when his birthday is.
Mm-mm.
Chuck, is your mic on?
Yeah, it's on. He's just not talking in it.
No, it's not. Let's see.
No,
Mm-mm.
I can hear you because I'm sitting here.
Oh. Can you hear me
No.
now?
No.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. That may be on my side. I don't know what's going on with that. Try it now. No, it's weird. It's on. It's up. Is it up? Check.
Mhm. It's on.
Talking it.
Hello.
Yeah, that's beyond my pay grade. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
yeah, the
So they didn't hear me talking about
engineers-
y'all singing?
They may have heard it through our mics, but not on the other. So yeah, sorry. You said that that people have forgotten.
People forget about other people, like Shuttlesworth, and like it's a whole lot of
tons of people.
Jesse Lewis, like everybody, like it's so many people important to the struggle. But hey, listen, Martin Luther King, he was a king, so I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the most universally known.
Right. Okay.
So.
The most universally known, and to be tapped as that person.
Well, he also. So what happens if Martin Luther King doesn't get
That's
assassinated?
news.
Like in the alternate universe, he doesn't get assassinated in Memphis. What happens? We don't know. So I think sometimes people become bigger.
And death.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Okay. At what age? He was what?
I don't know.
30.
38.
Okay.
38 seems right.
So like young, not
Yeah.
even, not even in the short time that he did have the impact that he did make. And you think about young people now, and I'm gonna go out as far as to say some names, just two names that come to mind when I think about young black men locally who have put them three. I put three out. But Ladarius Hilliard, Corey Petway, and Carlos Shavers. And with all the three of them, we are of such an age group that if anything, we first of all, we have social media.
Right.
So like nobody ever said that Dr. King hosted parties or
Right.
that he went to any of the social things we do. Like you hardly like, or that he had a fight at the spot and punched somebody, or that any of these things that we heard about these other people,
Or
that-
got folded up by somebody.
right, or dated somebody and whatever, wore the funny outfit. Like you don't hear things like that about Dr. King, and we discredit the works that those young men do. So I don't know that we could ever have someone that we would edify or dream with as much as we do Dr. King. Like
That's probably true.
Chuck, I love you to pieces, but the esteem that King gets, you like to see people together. You like unity. You like what's right, justice, and peace. But I don't know that we could ever give you that. And I wonder why. So I'm wondering, like, what does it take to be a king?
It's a different
It's
time,
to have a
man.
day.
Like I told y'all before.
And to also have a day, but actually, it didn't start off with it being just Dr. King Day.
It did not.
It did not.
You're right.
The campaign for a federal holiday in King's honor began after his assassination in 1968. Ronald Reagan signed the holiday into law in 1983. He died in 68, but it wasn't a law until 1983, and it was observed 3 years later.
Not nationwide.
No. Let me get to that.
Oh, my bad.
I like the action is back.
I'm just being myself.
Me too.
Okay.
Ooh.
Missed
Hello.
ya.
Hello.
At first, some states resisted observing the holiday as such, giving it alternative names and combining it with other holidays. It was officially observed in all 50 states for the first time in 2000. That is crazy.
2000, we were
Oh.
grown.
In 10th grade.
So Arizona was in 2000? Because Arizona was
It
the last
was the
joint.
last one.
That was a
Yep.
holdout.
And actually, several states have chosen to combine the commemoration of King's birthday with other observances.
Yep.
In Alabama, Robert E.
Yep.
Lee, Martin Luther
Let's
King
put the black man with the
birthday.
Confederacy. Let's do that.
Like, what?
Because that makes sense.
In Arizona is Martin Luther King Jr. Civil Rights Day. In Arkansas is known as Martin Luther King's birthday and Robert E. Lee's birthday.
Yep. Back in the Confederacy.
Yeah, Idaho is Human Rights Day. Most of these are saying Robert E. Lee birthday
Yep.
with his birthday.
Hey, but listen, that's
And
part-
not even everybody observes it as a paid federal holiday. Like I know, like my last employer did not observe it as a paid holiday. and we were still at work with regular pay. I'm off and I get holiday pay
Hey,
for
so
it now.
I give you a local example. So my dad name on the courthouse in Montgomery,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but there's a white man name on the courthouse too.
On the same one?
Yep, it's the Phelps Price Center for Justice.
I don't like it.
Well, I mean
It-
that's the way that's the way to grease the wheels and make sure my dad's name is up
Everybody's
on that joint, and B,
satisfied.
it ain't ever gonna come down.
How is
Mm.
it put? Is it hyphenated?
Yep.
So you really put us together.
Phelps Price Center for Justice, absolutely.
Now I didn't know that it was a combined. I
Yep.
didn't. Oh, okay.
Yep.
So as his son, Chuck,
Yep.
your dad's contributions to justice
Yep.
and all of that, and then this is like, yes, your name is on the courthouse, Daddy, and I'm proud. This will forever be here.
Yep.
What else?
What else? What?
Like
What else? What?
it's like Martin Luther King III, and my daddy name up here, and y'all celebrating him with Robert E. Lee, who
Yeah, it's
basically
crazy.
is two different.
Phelps
ends
was
of
a
the
good white
spectrum.
dude though. So like
Okay.
the dichotomy is different, right? Like so when you look at you got Robert E. Lee and King, like that's just weird. They're the antithesis of one another. One was out here fighting for slaves to stay slaves, and the other one was trying to free everybody. So
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
The bill first came to vote in 1979, and it fell 5 votes short before it was so it wasn't able to pass. The two main arguments were that a federal paid holiday would be too much,
Yep.
and a holiday to honor a private citizen will be contrary to a
He
long-standing
wasn't no private
tradition.
citizen.
Right.
They said he's a private citizen because he never held a
like
public
I said,
office.
to open up, right?
Right.
How many people?
Listen now, only 2 other figures have a national holiday: George Washington and Christopher Columbus. Did Christopher Columbus hold a public office? I know he
Well-
stole America, but
Amerigo Vespucci was the first person to find America.
so why are
that's
we
the whole
celebrating?
thing.
So why do they
So
celebrate?
why did he
I thought it
want
was
day
a-
at all?
I thought it's called Indigenous Day now.
Indigenous Peoples Day for Christopher Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Why do we celebrate him though? Why was there a day named after him if he didn't hold?
Because
If their
he-
argument was that King should not have a day because he didn't hold public office, then why Christopher Columbus then?
Because he's white.
Oh,
Hey,
on,
let me
man.
shout out my white sister that is on the live right now, Patricia Todd. Patricia said,
Oh,
I
Patricia.
marched to
Representative
make
Todd.
it a
What's
federal
cracking?
holiday, right? Like a
I-
whole representative that we've been
She
rocking.
support us.
Yeah, she's been rocking with Vital since before it was Vital,
I hate the word ally, but she an ally.
Yeah.
I don't like that word, but it is.
but it's no better
It's
word.
so weird. It's
Supporter,
It's
friend
cringy.
of.
It's just making me cringe. It's cringy.
Sister of,
But
and
she
then
with us.
yeah, for sure. Then Ladarius Hilliard did come on after I called his name.
Huh?
Hey,
Oh no, he knew I was coming.
he ain't come because you coming.
I was gonna say, somebody-
What? This
I was
Actually,
just somebody
hold on.
said-
Actually, maybe.
somebody told him you say his name. And
Actually,
here you
maybe.
go.
this show been on 15 years.
No, I'm talking about tonight. I just talked to him.
Where are you coming from?
Huh?
Okay.
Right.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. So yes, back to the conversation. So when we think about
Home, actually. Hey man, this is a weekend. This is a busy weekend, man. I've been up in the 6 o'clock hour 3 straight days and got to do it again tomorrow.
working.
Martin Luther King holiday stuff.
Okay. See.
Races, unity breakfast,
Mhm.
church, all this stuff.
Amen.
Okay, I see.
How much the ticket? Okay, so
$60 at the Boutwell. No. I'm gonna talk about it. We at the Boutwell now. Yeah,
More news on the
yeah,
Boutwell.
yeah. We gonna. This is about to change.
The change gonna come.
Yeah, I done heard some
We
conversations
are
about.
not
yeah.
afraid. Okay, so
Shout out to Ladarius though.
let's chop it up. The exchange of the guard. In 2023, celebrating the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the dreamer. Like if we don't know any other dreamers, we know Dr. King. His dream is a dream that other people can relate to, other people could connect with. We all want to raise our children so that they could be little black boys and white girls and red children. And we want to be able to have the same freedoms, liberties, and justices that we want to be equal. And we don't want to have to be violent. We all were able to connect with that at some point. And even still, that dream still resonates with us. The flip side of that is, do we truly feel that that's a realistic dream?
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, a realistic dream, sure. Is it gonna become reality?
Ever.
Probably not.
But it is real. We do think that it's a realistic dream. The dream, like we know it. We know what he said in the speech. Where that segment that stanza came from. But do we really believe that dream is
Here?
reasonable?
Oh.
So the dream has come true, like
With integration?
for a lot of people. But I mean, it's here, like you can see it, but it's not pleasant.
Okay.
Right.
And
It's a
so
nightmare.
Chris had Mary Beth Ford on
Mhm.
earlier this week.
I like how you reference other shows here on B94.9 WATV where the V stands for
You
vital.
know, I'm
Abby Award winner.
Abby Award winning.
I'm an avid listener.
I love that though. Carry on.
Whose kids go to a predominantly white school,
Yeah.
and her son was being
Oh,
bullied
yeah.
for the entire semester, and that's just the thing now, right? And she spoke to it like it's just what happens, like it's a thing that happens continuously, like he's not the first one, won't be the last one type thing. So the dream is there because we're able to be placed in those settings.
Come on,
but again,
Courtney.
it's not pleasant. My kids go to a predominantly white school as well. They've not told me that they've had those experiences. I'm almost certain that they would though. So again, the dream is there, but it's not always pleasant.
All right. The dream is not always pleasant. And a lot of people say that our issues started with integration. We wanted to be equal so bad that now we equal and we ain't equal still. But my children get a better education when they go over here and when we move to this neighborhood and we do things like
And that's true.
play
It's
golf
sad,
and-
but it's true.
and cricket and stuff like that. You know, the better opportunities come with integration. And that's what Dr. King and those fought for. We wanted equality and now we got it and the children getting bullied and
Nah.
What?
It didn't start with integration. It started in 1865, man, at the end of slavery. But here's the deal. So slavery died in 1865, but we ain't buried that joint yet.
okay.
I said a word then.
Amen.
I did. I did.
You're so crazy. Okay, so
Walk with me. I won't keep you long.
So okay, walking. Slavery died, but who like we didn't so mindset for us and then principle for others or mindset for everybody. And so we continue to perpetuate slavery.
Mhm.
I-
We ain't buried that joint. And like you got to think about it, man. Like it's so crazy what everything they doing now. It was so systemic for so long. Like we ain't caught up. Just because we can go to school with white folks, don't mean we didn't caught up.
Not at all.
Not even close. Not
I was like, 'cause
economically.
it's not,
Not politically.
and it's not even out. Like even if we go to school with them, doesn't mean that we're getting fair treatment either.
As like I started telling people, man, all this push for diversity like years ago. I don't care about diversity. I care about inclusivity.
Okay.
Right. So like you can have diverse stuff, but if you ain't trying to include people in your groove, it don't matter. It don't matter that you got some black kids in the white school. If everybody not accepting, it's like for example, and it's for us too. All right. I was talking to somebody the other day and they said, listen, let's say that you had 20 tickets
Okay.
for 10 couples to go somewhere, or you had a dinner party for like 10 couples.
Mhm.
How many of those people don't look like you?
Yeah.
Think that through.
Mm.
Let that marinate.
Remember a few months ago, I was like, I need a good white girl for the show. I need a good white guy.
You're bad.
I mean, what? I wanted to be inclusive and have a little diversity.
I get that, but like the dynamics change sometimes too. So you gotta pick the right people.
Pick the right people, the right timing. So, like, think about that from the reverse side of things.
Right.
We're gonna pick the right blacks to be able to come and stay in the neighborhood.
Sounds so
and-
racist.
He speaks
What?
so well.
Blacks.
What?
He enunciates so well spoken.
Right. Like I said, he
He
played
has a suit on. Look at
and,
that.
and
Tie is look at his bow tie.
he went to
Tied it great.
college.
What are we looking at?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a rand. Who's a rand? Is that your person?
No. Oh, please. So,
We need security around this place,
Right.
man. Like
hold on.
it's just a random dude just standing
Just
on,
stand-
on the sidewalk in a hoodie.
I can't see. Look at the woman.
I am.
Okay.
Oh, guys. Hold, please. I tell you what. Let me
Now
insert.
we keep talking. But like, hey,
I'm
let's
gonna-
check on this joint.
Yeah, I'm going to insert as well so that we can do what we need to do here. Let's see. What song would we like to hear? Let me think.
Is this a new thing?
Let's
You just be
do-
just playing songs in the middle.
It may be a 2023 thing. Hold, please. Let's put it in.
I mean, I can talk through it.
No, Chuck. It may
Okay.
be.
My bad.
It may be a thing. We'll be right back. You're listening to
I ain't
Vital on
going outside to
B94.9
check.
WATB.
One of y'all means not me.
Come on.
I feel like I should be a part of
You
this.
should. You're a man, Brad. It's so cute.
Got that thing on you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I was calling to see if you get patrol to 3025 Ansley Avenue. Yes, ma'am. Just to patrol. I'm on the we're at the radio station and have some people walking around. Ain't no Woodruff. They had a house bed up.
It's a drug deal.
It look like they called the cardboard down.
Yeah, they just need patrols still, just in case.
P94.9.
Folk need to do.
Thank you so much.
People need to be careful about doing stuff like that. That look real suspicious and like pulling up in front of random people's houses and sitting there. Like you need to be careful doing that. Stupid. Hey, let me take a picture of that so I can buy me one.
Okay, I played the version that like most people like.
I do not like that. God. You see me make several posts about it. I've said something to you several
was that?
times on the phone.
Rihanna lift me up.
God, it makes me
Oh,
want
really?
to.
Jump off of something.
Right, like I almost broke my nail last week trying to change that channel in my
And
car.
we're black.
God.
I'm the same way about it. Oh my
Hey man, if you gonna start
goodness.
dropping songs, I have a
You got
suggestion.
you want to do something?
Sure, but no. But like if you do that, you
Mhm.
should do local people.
Okay, we can do that. We can think about that.
Yeah, party rockers and local people. Or people from Alabama. Like you got a bunch
Like
of
we do in the backyard heat every day
Yeah.
here on B94.9 WATV. Throughout the day, we have a segment called Backyard Heat, and those are artists from right here in the city. So thank you
When is
again
that?
for referencing something that we do
Oh,
right
I didn't,
here.
I didn't
on
know
the
that
station.
happened. So
I know
when is that?
every day, all day,
What time?
all day.
I
So
thought you just said you did a segment.
it's all day. So
Oh.
the name of the feature is Backyard Heat. So our artists from around the state are all day. So
Oh.
let
okay.
me say this. Let me give you a little vital history. This may be good to do too throughout
Mhm.
2023, giving history about the show.
Just 15 years, right?
Yes. So
15th
look,
anniversary. Let's do
the
it.
way that it started, I talked about issues, news and issues, but we really featured music.
We
It
did.
was called Wanting to Be Heard. So it was for artists from our area that wanted to be heard. They came on, we did interviews, chopped it up, and then we came back in with vital stuff. So boom, a little history about the show. For those of you who are rather new to it. Okay. All right. So back to our conversation at hand. Ken said, I actually like your choice of song and that version. I'm gonna tell you, if I ever got to play it, I prefer that version.
What was the
Rihanna.
song? It's a Rihanna song?
Yeah.
Is
It's
it a
on-
remake?
No,
Oh.
they, when I first made a post about it, people were saying, "Well, it's on the soundtrack to Wakanda
Wakanda
Forever."
What-
Like, I don't care
oh,
what soundtrack is on. Like, I want to die when I hear it. I don't
why,
like it.
Why are there different versions? That's what I understand.
because I think she knew that everybody was
It's
like,
trash.
what is this?
Yeah, so,
Like before.
Yeah.
wait,
like a
so she
remix.
made a song and then she remixed her own song?
Yeah, real quick. Just put like a little upbeat to it. We'll show you afterwards. We'll let you hear it.
Okay.
Bro, it's just not it.
I
It's
did
I
not.
learn
I don't
something
like
new every
it.
day.
Like when I first heard it, I was like, I hate when artists fall in love. Their music gets so whack. Jesus.
Well, she's been in love. She just with child now, right?
Yeah. And it's the whole idea of it being the Wakanda Forever soundtrack. Like, we don't like it.
Y'all don't rock with Beyonce after she found love?
Sure.
I'm not a beehiver, so I mean,
You
you
like
can't,
some of the tracks,
you can't
though,
say
right?
Cuff It ain't dope though.
it is dope.
I'll play that next.
Yeah.
Okay.
She not local?
No, not at all. Let me give you some music history it's a song, the nastiest song ever recorded. I'm gonna share it to my social media, so I'll send you there for that one. But it's
Akinelli?
who?
What's the nasty song?
Let
ever?
me see.
Just
Hey, y'all
tell me the
no,
artist.
I gotta see. You're taking me all off right now.
I'm sorry. Is this my fault? It probably is.
I don't even know how this. Oh, because I played the song to let us handle our business. You wanted to talk through it. She wants to go see who. Yeah, it was a lot just happened. I'll tell you that too after the show, Chuck. Let me find it in the next break. It's been a few days since I screenshotted it.
Okay.
But yeah. Woo. So Ladaria says, I remember when School of Hip Hop Vital began. Big congratulations. You were there. Thank
He
you,
was.
Hilliard. Let me find this, y'all, because it was something else I just wanted to share. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, yo, you listening? Hey, you can put it in there. Urban League is doing a gas giveaway tomorrow, starting at 11 o'clock.
Were.
Huh? I'm saying it because
share it, Ladaria, so we can know tomorrow at 11.
I think it's at 11. It's after the Unity breakfast. Unity breakfast should be over at 10. It's at 11 o'clock. Maybe a shell on 3rd.
Oh
maybe?
God, I'm not going over there.
Well, you're
you
gonna
don't want
go
a
for
gas card
gas.
then. That's on you.
That line always that anytime gas is given away, everybody always
Well, we telling
chooses
you now.
the Shell gas station on 3rd Avenue
Well, it's
and
a
it's a
thoroughway.
choose somewhere else.
Where you want them
I
to
want to
go?
go to another one.
Where you want them to go?
I want them to go to like Chevron on 78 or something.
That's an easy pull up, like because of the way the streets are constructed on the
Swing
in
in,
and out.
swing
Like you
out.
swing in, swing out. Like
I just can't stand.
Just
the
know
Shell.
that tomorrow at about 11 o'clock,
Yeah.
you should go if
I
you
think
want
it's
to
Shell
go.
on 3rd.
And it-
1 p.m.
and
at
that one is
Shell
called
on 3rd.
Oh, 1 p.m. My
Shells.
bad, fam.
Thank you.
That one is
Ladarius.
Shells. You gotta add S on that one.
I got you, fam.
Appreciate that. So it was something else. Let me show you guys something or tell you something that someone just sent me. Oh, we were thinking about other people and people deserving of days, people that basically that exude purity and service and concern.
No.
Not with us.
Malcolm X.
I am Malcolm X.
Yeah, hey, let me
Malcolm
ask y'all
X.
this. So I was talking about this past week too. So when everybody does all of this stuff tomorrow,
Mhm.
right? They're going to do these cleanups and probably going to 16th Street and all that. Is there anybody pulling up at Bethel where Fred Shuttlesworth actually preached? Does anybody even know that Fred Shuttlesworth was over in Collegeville preaching?
I think they know, but I don't think they're gonna do anything about that because it's not his day.
So it doesn't matter though, because he doesn't have a day. He doesn't even have a day. So it's weird because what I was talking about is people were talking about like, oh, Birmingham embrace the like civil rights movement,
Yeah.
come down and they're gonna go to Bethel. I'm like, my point was they ain't nobody going to Bethel because they think the little civil rights district is it. They think you go to the Civil Rights Institute,
right?
you go to the park, and you go to 16th Street, and that's the end of the struggle, and that's the end of like the civil rights march, and like that's not true. It literally is not true.
It's not. It's not
Not
true
even
at all.
remotely
So
true.
look, we did the Vital History. We did the bus tour and went to these different places that like these unsung places in the city of Birmingham, and it's so many. This is like the mecca of civil rights for so many reasons. The house that I grew up in, I don't live there no more, so I'm gonna say the address: 7011 12th Street in Ensley, right next door to the house that I grew up in, where my dad really grew up. A.D. King's brother lived. Dr. King's brother lived in that home, and when the home was bombed, my dad felt the movement in his bed. So that's that's civil rights history. They attacked his brother. They shot his mama.
I think
Like,
think
come
that
on.
the issue now, the reason you ain't never gonna have another Dr. King, another Shuttlesworth, Jesse Lewis, Pettis Bridge, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Is there's no movement that everybody's behind
At
anymore.
all.
Like even when George Floyd got like the country, everybody was united for the most part.
Yeah.
Out the Jewish folks, black folks, whatever, we were all united under one cause. And like because of social media and the microwave generation and all that kind of stuff, like people feel like, oh, well, we gave you these rights. So like there's no movement that everybody has to get behind and struggle for anymore to achieve. You can vote, maybe ish. Y'all can ain't no separate but equal, maybe ish. You can eat at restaurants, do all these things. So like surface level, we are equal. We've achieved equality, but we really haven't. So.
We haven't. I was just when you were naming the different things, I'm thinking about like the work I do every day, seeing black felons and white felons, and how white felons are able to go and get these jobs way easier than my black guys. Thinking about mental health.
Well, some of that's on us.
What you mean?
But, black folks have a history of like denying mental health and like denying the need for therapy and all that.
For sure.
So that's what I meant.
But okay, so yeah,
That's changing. I
That's the
think.
first part.
Yeah.
But the second part of that is like treatment, access to treatment. So like and the affordability. So just like the stair steps to be able to get anything that we need is it's a different step. It's all we have to take. Our steps are zigzagged as opposed to being like for some of us we can kind of go up the steps maybe, then we come back down, then we go back up.
So all that, but see, all of that goes back to like the economic disparity.
Right.
That's because of systemic racism. Like, so you can't ever get away from that.
Mm.
That's why when you talk about what'd you say? The dream has
The
been
dream.
achieved, but it's not pretty. What'd you say? Not pleasant. I guess I get that.
So a dream deferred is not a dream denied. But then I'm hearing that this may be a dream.
Look at you with a little education.
Shut up, Chuck.
I'm back.
The dream, my dear, though. I can dream this,
Right.
and I can dream this for my child. I can dream this for my grandchildren. I can dream this for my nieces and nephews or
What
for
does it look
whoever.
like, though?
Right. Like, would they ever be able to truly see a dream?
Yeah.
Like a dream visualized, not deferred, denied, demeaned, but like I really want to see the fruits of these dreams that my grandma had and my mama had. And yeah, because I got some big dreams.
We
But
gave y'all a black president. Everything good. So, I mean, come on.
okay. Okay. Comments 994-8949. The phone lines are open. We're going to get ready to go to the top of the next hour. You can join in with us on that.
Are we? Oh.
Let me spring this
Yeah.
real quick. We got time.
Yeah.
Air gas refuses to supply nitrogen for Alabama executions. Were y'all aware of this?
Yeah. So they've halted all executions as of. This past
Yeah,
week.
one of Alabama's largest suppliers of gas won't supply nitrogen to the state's prison system for nitrogen hypoxia executions. Air gas is basically saying that it will not be like helping you kill anybody.
Right.
So in my previous
Well,
employer,
Well, more nuanced.
we use liquid nitrogen
To do what?
to like burn warts and stuff off of
Yeah.
your skin. It's also used as coolant for computers. It's used to remove precancerous cells and stuff like that. But Alabama is wanting to use it in the death penalty so you can say they want you to breathe it in.
All that is about
Yeah,
bad
that's crazy.
publicity, right? Because
It's about KI.
well, no, it's about the fact that there were the last 2 or 3 executions failed.
Botched.
So like now that's a very public thing. And now that it's become public knowledge, a corporation does not want to lend its name to that. But like, had that not happened, I don't know you reading that same article.
I feel like actually even with the botch thing, how are you unable to find a vein with the heroin addicts?
Hey,
Like
man,
what
I don't know.
happened? Like I can find a vein in anybody in here at this
Let's
All
come
moment.
back
10
to
bricks.
it. We
Okay.
got to take a quick break. You're listening to Vital right here on V94.9 WATV. Here we go.
Y'all want to read this? Oh, God, it's so loud. So loud.
Like everybody that execution,
Man.
like everybody whose execution was botched, weren't they black?
Not all of them.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. The first one was white dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not find a vein?
I don't know. Did
Like
y'all
only
go-
people I've ever heard of not being able to find veins were heroin addicts or
y'all-
people who use drugs with,
Did y'all go to lit today?
No, I thought you were there, Chuck. You didn't go?
I missed Dave. So like,
I don't go out no more.
since
Oh, he was
when?
there. He
They-
performed.
608.
Oh.
It's
You don't
a,
go out no more.
since like in the last like
Year.
Oh, no,
Nigga,
This year.
this year, you ain't going out this year. I forgot what day. The last 15 days you ain't been nowhere.
Here we go.
You ain't gonna silence
Thinking
me.
and listening. V94.9 WATV. Welcome to the second hour of Vital. Chuck
What's cracking?
Jeter with the juice and Candy Black is where it's at. I'm Lady Wu. Y'all, welcome to the show. If you're just getting in for the second hour, if you've been hanging around, we appreciate you. A lot of conversation. Chuck, you may have
Doing a
missed
good
it,
job, though.
but I was saying that like over the past week, I haven't had cable. And normally, like I watch local news to know. I watch the news. I like to watch the news, but I also like to get the follow up from, broadcast sources. But watching the news is like a thing for me, and I haven't been able to do that, so I didn't
Why?
know what was happening locally.
Why? You
Because I get
have-
to see everybody else's perspective too.
You don't have an antenna?
I have the apps, like all the app stuff,
All
and
you
I
gotta do, like,
Don't
You're-
do this because she already did.
I'ma go
this.
do it
It
tomorrow.
already
Yeah, I mean, if
happened.
you
It
have an
already happened.
antenna over the air, you can get.
I can still get old like regular cable too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on where you live and like whatever, but you still should be
She
able to
can
get like
get it.
36 channel. No, more than that. 50,
Yeah.
60,
For free?
Yeah,
Yes.
just put your antenna on your
an on-air
thing.
antenna, and in fact, the signal is better, and on your television is clearer.
Yep.
Like we're going
So
on
where
a
the co-
flat
so you
screen
take-
TV.
so typically you take
screw
the
it
where the
on.
coax cable is for
Yeah.
your cable. Antennas have a coax thing
They
that
do. They do.
Yes.
Yep.
And then you run a scan, and then
It'll load all the channels.
so you should be
A
able to get
scan or a scam.
no a scan.
Okay.
62. It's like 62 goes to like what 62.4 or something.
Something like
Okay.
that, yeah.
You get some channels you ain't even realize was out there. Like when's the last time you watched
APT.
Yeah.
I watched that a few months ago because I was thinking about putting us on there. Look, Ken, I do have a Fire Stick in one of the TVs, but the TV that I like to sit in front of with my feet in front of the heater is the one that I'm
Mhm.
talking about.
Just move the Fire Stick. They portable.
But I need that one on the TV that is on.
Get another Fire Stick. You got money.
How you know?
You got some bread now. Come on. Don't do this.
No, I do not.
We ain't pocket checking nobody. I got a fire. I can give you a Fire Stick. I ain't using it.
But I got the
I
app,
need
so that's what I'm
one.
saying. I got a Roku TV. I just
I
need
think
to
I
set the
have
apps up. That's it. And
I
I
need
just,
one for my
you know.
son's TV.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm into this right here. I do the board and music stuff, but TV apps, and I got to put my email in. Man, I'm not what. I
It
don't have
ain't,
the
it ain't
attention
that
span for
hard.
that.
Just type
We
your
went
email
over it
address.
months ago on the phone.
Hey,
Chuck, and she was just like,
guys.
no.
Just go do it. Just pull up. Just do it.
Guys, stop
May I have
it.
one of your halls?
Sure.
Self.
Welcome back.
Anything for you, bro.
Hey, shouts out to WSSOS Radio, Savannah, Georgia. Thank you for tuning in and watching us tonight. Hopefully, we're giving you some of the
Hey
vital
man,
stuff that we
Savannah,
have
the
here.
hottest place in America. Yo.
Is it?
I told you that story about when I went to that wedding. I went to a wedding in Savannah in July, and I can't tell you what was happening beforehand, but it was an outdoor wedding. No, it was an outdoor wedding. The joint started at 6 o'clock, and the heat index at 6 p.m. was 107 degrees.
I don't
Wait,
like
how
that.
were y'all dressed?
Nikki.
I was in the I had a
in
suit
the
on.
nude.
And then they were like, just take your coat off. And I was like, I take my coat off. Everybody know how hot I am. I can't do that.
Okay.
And then I sweated through the coat.
So
literally
Savannah,
hot as-
Savannah is hotter than Alabama.
Yeah, because of the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom.
And so where we were was not too far away. It's a cool place, and like, you know, they got like the green spaces are
Mhm.
cool, and like you can see the water, but God bless, it's hot in July. Hey, still thank y'all for tuning in though.
We
Man,
really
it's
do.
hot.
Like, we appreciate that. Shouts out to you. Maybe when we come back to Savannah, we can see what, take us somewhere else, do something else. We got some trips to make, some things to do in 2023. Being vital all over.
Any of them involve passports?
Maybe.
All y'all got passports? Everybody? in here got
Yeah, why
passports?
you ask
You-
that? Is
saying.
we got to get the star ID this year? Is it this year?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes. It's 20. Yeah, you gotta get a new ID this year, right? Before 24.
So look, Kayla had me looking into that, just having this conversation about adults being able to move around and needing to have a passport, even if you haven't, you have it. But we were trying to figure out, like, so if I have a passport, do I still have to have the star ID as well?
I don't know.
And that was a part of our
Probably not, actually.
lining people up.
I think if you don't have the star ID, you have to have a passport and your regular ID
Okay.
in order to fly.
Cool.
How you get started?
You got to
Just
go
go
to
tell 'em.
Arkadelphia.
I don't want to. They line be long. I don't do
You don't wanna
lines.
do
I don't
nothing.
like lines. God.
We'll bring you the gas.
And
We'll
I
come to
think
your house
that
and
the
do your ID.
deadline was
Thank you.
extended to October. You have until October of this year to get the star ID.
Okay.
You can go
So
to the
I can't
courthouse?
I
Okay.
can't apply for it online.
Probably not.
I'm gonna look it up.
No, I
I'll
don't.
let y'all
I
know
don't
next
think
week.
you
I
can.
doubt it because they want to have in-person verification, which actually
It-
makes sense.
Right, birth certificate and all of that. And that's
Yeah,
what we
that
did
makes
look up.
sense.
So what we're working on is getting in touch with somebody to come in or to call in and give us that information. Because if it is that, if that's what's standing between us making grown folk trips and not just going to Panama and Atlanta, like we need, and I mean Panama, City Beach, Florida, not Panama.
Why you need my birth certificate though? If I have an ID,
I agree.
you gave me the ID.
And do you have to have your birth certificate when you get your ID?
Yeah, you have
The
to have your
first
birth.
time.
Yeah, the first time you do, you have to have your birth certificate and your social security card.
So look, funny story. When I went to take my driver's test the first time in high school, my parents didn't take me. Right, I did fail. They, let me play the sound effect for that.
I'm sorry. I mean to your business. I'm sorry.
But it's a similar story. The reason that you failed as well, right? Okay. So,
Whoa.
let me change the music for this.
Ain't no fun when the rock.
But listen, so
can't
I was
stand
like,
rabbits.
let me try to do, I was the type teenager, same adult, that if I do something, I can go home and show my parents proudly that I did it. Look what I got, guys. So I had a friend of mine with the same type of car that my parents had hey, let me get your Camry and let's go get my license. And that means that I had to have gotten my birth certificate and Social Security card to go do out. I had to get it, or did I have it already? So I'm just thinking about how grown I was then, and the fact that I did all of that and still didn't pass the damn test. Do children have driver's ed books? Do they have the book? What?
Yes, they
see,
do.
see, it's so much. Like,
My daughter had
We
one.
need to get ready for this.
My
Ruby,
daughter had.
'cause we
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
did.
asking.
my daughter had one. Gardendale.
like a book.
She had a book. Oh,
Girl,
well.
you know we ain't getting no
Okay.
book.
Oh.
You know
The
where
good
I-
white folk gave a book.
But you can get one offline. FYI.
Hey,
'cause
Justin.
that's what we gonna have to do.
Yeah, Carmen already read it. Like, I turned 15 in like 15 days. I'm gonna get my permit. And I said, well, I don't remember if the permit is a written test or is it just.
It's a written.
It's a written
test.
test.
It used to be. I don't know.
It's a written test. It's on the
I
computer.
didn't even remember that part.
Oh, it's on the computer now. When we did
It's
it,
on
it
the
was,
computer.
it was like
You go
number 2
in.
pencil, Scantron type.
It was like 40
Oh,
years ago.
don't do that.
Yeah, that was at
I'm not
least
that
20 years
old.
though, dog.
Question: at what age do you think people should be retested to drive?
50.
50.
Yeah.
We
I don't
almost
want to
50.
be
I don't know
retested.
that. Well, I don't know. It's a lot of people who don't know. It's a lot of people that don't know the rules of the road, yo. Like, so maybe I don't know. That's weird. I feel like once you get it-
Driving school.
There are a lot of
Doesn't
rules that are
work.
controversial and you can argue about. Like I
Like
know
what?
that I know for like one rule that my mama was telling me, like, you can't turn like that light. You can't drive with your light on inside the car. And that's not a damn law.
nobody knows that. I was looking for something.
Oh, that's true.
Is it?
But like you don't
That's
learn.
a real law.
I think so. It's one of the rules of the road.
But you may not learn that in driver's ed. I mean, not even driver's ed. I didn't take driver's ed.
I didn't either.
We did it in my school.
They offered it, but I didn't take it.
I don't know that they offer that anymore in Birmingham.
They do.
They offer it
Yeah, I
Not
see.
Birmingham.
in not Fultondale,
I see the
Gardendale,
car all the time.
Homewood,
Okay.
Hoover.
EV.
Yeah, like
They offer it in Birmingham.
How do we get to this?
And speaking
Okay,
of
so it's been extended.
Birmingham.
What? Oh, what?
You want me to wait?
What?
I'm not gonna be here
Like
until now, so
last night,
What happened last night?
Ramsey
Okay.
played Huffman. And at a minute and 41 seconds, Huffman's varsity girls coach passed out of nowhere on the court.
Really?
So they were having a timeout. So like the coach is on the ground, the girls are screaming, her team is screaming and crying. You got everybody in the stands like trying to get the medic's attention, leaning on the wall with his hands crossed. We're watching him. We're looking at him like, you don't see this lady laying in the floor? And he's still leaning up against the wall. It took him literally, I know it was about 45 seconds, and he jumped up, and then he strolls over to her slowly.
And I've
Like-
heard this reported now a few times.
Like she's not, this lady ain't moving. We don't know if she's breathing. We don't know if she's had a heart attack, a seizure, nothing. All we know is that her whole team is shut down. They are hysterical. And they go over there and they lean down and look at her for a second. Like you would have thought that he was just strolling through Walmart looking for the peanuts or something. It was so disgusting and just, we were shocked at how Birmingham Fire and Rescue handled that situation. They didn't even walk over with the stretcher. They walked over, he just walked over there like just moseying along with his just hands and jacket on.
So nobody ever had any urgency about
Oh,
anything. How
No.
was she removed? Was she back up?
no, they put her on the stretcher.
Wait, so it's what you saying? What you complaining about? Or
Birmingham Fire and Rescue. You're at a basketball game staring at the court.
like so that he saw the whole thing?
Eh,
Like,
I don't know
Look,
what he was
and see,
looking at.
that's what
'cause
I'm
he-
saying. Like I got all of those questions
all right,
too.
so
Like-
hold on. To be fair, everybody on the phone, everybody got earbuds.
Mm-hmm.
Like that man could have been man, woman. I don't. Didn't matter.
You're there to work the
Are-
game.
Well, I mean,
As a medical official, people's lives are in your hands.
I-
That's why you're there.
I can understand. That
And you're staring at the court.
I can. No, I can understand a delay. I don't know about 45 seconds.
Okay.
Because sometimes
telling
it
you.
takes a second for you to realize that
What's
something's
happening.
It took him so long that a couple of her players were about to charge over there at
Well, that's
him.
too long. I get that.
And from all indications, there are a few video accounts of it. So
Yeah.
there's some video footage of the response time and
So
of
people
the interaction.
filming the response time and not trying to help the person?
I guess people in the
'Cause, you know-
stands.
We were in the
It-
stands.
you know
My
what I'm saying?
daughter
Like,
got
there's
it.
so many-
We're watching the game. And like he's sitting there looking at it. It's two of them against the wall. Only one walks over first.
So this particular story, or this,
And she's still in the hospital.
yeah,
So
this
something is really
situation-
wrong.
This situation has become a story. It wasn't just this isolated episode at the game where the coach passed out because it was too hot, or it was just a quick medical emergency. Something happened, and in lieu of what has happened with two people publicly having cardiac arrest issues, one dying from them, Lisa Marie Presley,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, that's what
then
happened to her?
Yeah.
Where
twice.
was she?
Uh,
She was out something. She wasn't performing, was she?
no.
Okay.
But what's so crazy is that she was just seen out with her mom the week before. So like the way that things happen to people in a split, like life can change in a split second.
Quickly.
I don't know his name. No offense.
Football player.
No, when I used to be on social media, it was a cat that worked for fire department who's sort of prolific on Facebook.
Jermaine.
Oh, yes. I
Mm-hmm.
think, has he said something about it?
I don't know.
I don't
haven't seen.
know. I don't follow him.
Okay.
Might be fasting. And then so that part too. When something happens, I can't speak to the whole
Right.
Birmingham Fire Police. Like if anything happened here, you better say who did it and
Right,
not everybody at B94. No, Black said or whoever.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Quote me.
yeah, like there I ain't.
Like, it was so bad. Like they were like, it was. I know for a fact it was one like kid in the stands. Like it was traumatic for her. She was crying and upset. It was really crazy because she was fine through the whole game. No showing
And
no
then
signs.
1 minute
And
left.
she collapsed. A minute and 41 seconds left in the game.
Did you all actually see her fall?
It wasn't even like a real dramatic, just faint. It was like almost like she slid. It's almost like
But you saw
like
it?
an imaginary wall
Mm.
almost, and she just kind of slid down, and she was laid out. And so they did end up taking her out on the stretcher, and she was actually kicking like, "No, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave my team."
No, you
she
gotta
didn't wanna
Check on
go.
your health, yeah. But I get
So
it.
prayers for her because we did have a moment of silence. Actually, even the announcer
Did they continue the game?
who said, they not forfeited. They called the game a draw.
Yeah.
And the actual announcer who called for a moment of silence, he was in tears too. He was crying.
That's wild.
Let's check this out. So now, smooth segue. This is relative to the conversation that we're having, but this is not to say that we don't know anything else about that
Right.
situation.
We
I'll
don't.
say that.
We just know that she's in the hospital and be in prayer for the Vikings.
Right. But Ken's comment speaks to something that I wanted to talk about a while ago about this COVID thing. He said, yeah, it's happening all around the country and the world. Unexplained deaths are up 30%.
Mhm.
So much in Germany that Germany is still investigating the drug companies. So that is one, I hate to say conspiracy or one line of thought. But then there's also the idea that people who like we're still experiencing the effects of COVID.
Right. Because we still don't know like what the long lasting
Right.
Sure.
effects are of COVID.
Right.
We won't know.
Probably 20,
Yeah, the white
20
paper,
years.
the white paper ain't coming out for like 15, 20 years. Because
Yeah.
you need to get that far past. I mean, just think about it because we're still technically, I mean,
we're
still
in it.
I know everybody outside. Hey, y'all come to court too. I'm tired of putting warrants on people.
Look, call and remind me.
Seriously, God bless.
I'm
But
sick of having to do
I'm just
this.
saying, like, we're still in COVID.
Yeah.
Like,
We
there's
are.
a new variant. Like, just,
And that's what I was going to speak about. So when we keep hearing about this new variant, because we're still in it, but because most of us are okay and healthy, it's like, okay, every couple of weeks or months is going to be a new variant.
Yeah.
Right. So
I mean,
do we
viruses mutate. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
So do we just stay shut down, or do we continue to just do the normal things that we do and function as normal? And then do we continue to get booster shots?
I think enough people have gotten vaccinated
Mm-hmm.
and multiple boosters.
Herd
I think
immunity.
a lot of people are just like, I get it. Because, a lot of people I know are asymptomatic. So
Mhm.
I'll tell y'all,
Mhm.
over New Year, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like I had COVID, which
Okay.
was the greatest thing ever because I was asymptomatic, which means I was just chilling at home. Like I couldn't go nowhere. I had to talk to nobody.
This is great.
Yeah, listen, you forced me to sit down. That's great. Like,
Mhm.
so spent a lot of time doing whatever. But on the flip side, my mom had it,
Okay.
and my mom is 81, and so like she went through it. But both times I had it, I just happened to be asymptomatic, and I think there are a lot of people
That have
who-
been asymptomatic.
Yeah, and there are also a lot of people who've had COVID who don't even know they had COVID because if they were asymptomatic and they didn't think they had been exposed, they never got tested. Because my mom. Because my mom. If my mom had not called me, my
You wouldn't
sister,
have known.
my sister sent me a text and said, "You need to call mom." And this is at 7:00 in the morning. I missed it. Then she sent me another text when I was at work, and like, you can't do that to me. My mom is old. Like,
Right. Like, what is it?
So I called and she's like, "I'm positive." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I left work immediately. By the time, and I had some meetings, like Zoom meetings or whatever. So by the time I was able to go get tested, my sister had tested negative and my dad had tested negative. We were all around each other.
Yeah.
Whatever. So my mom was like, "You probably gonna be fine, whatever." Like, all right, but I still gotta get tested. Like, cause
You positive. Mama positive.
Right. So I was surprised when they said you positive for COVID. So I got tested. I was positive on Friday, tested negative on Tuesday.
No symptoms.
No.
Didn't feel sleepy.
No. Well, I'm always sleepy because I don't sleep well.
Okay.
I'm always tired, but I'm functionally tired.
But all of the symptoms that you know that are affiliated with COVID, you didn't recognize experiencing any of those.
Not when I tested positive. No.
So think about how many people on a daily basis, just like it has been with any other disease or any other virus or infection or whatever, the flu, the common cold, all of these different things that we've always had. Do we just stay in a constant state of, oh, it's a new variant, we got to go back to mask and not going anywhere?
Can't do that in
sitting 6
America.
feet?
Like they ain't playing in Asia.
And they
still-
ain't had any more cases either.
Yeah, folks still masked up in Asia. And they still, but the government is different. But in America,
And it's where it started too.
I mean,
right?
think about how it was at the height of COVID. Like you still got people, anti-vaxxers and people who refuse to wear masks, and the government can't do this, blah, blah, blah. You know, it is what it is.
And y'all talking about this made me think about that situation I was telling you about with Cairo.
Mhm.
My son, now that I know like what to call it, has had 3 breath holding spells.
3 what?
It's called breath holding spells. Google it. It's a real thing. And he had COVID when he was a baby. And I just thought about it. He wasn't having those prior to having
What is a breath
COVID.
holder? I'm confused.
It's when
what it sounds
It
like,
happens
honestly.
between, it says it happens between babies between 6 months to 18 months of age. And it's where like it looks like you think it's a seizure, but it's minus the shaking. Like they're crying for a minute, and then all of a sudden you don't hear anything, but their mouth is like open, like they're crying, and they're not breathing. This lasts for like, I don't know, a very long time because, like I said, it happened to my son. So it's very traumatic. You're scared. Nothing's coming out. They're not breathing. And then all of a sudden, it's like they'll gasp and their breath will come back and their body will go straight like a board, and then it's limp. And when they come to, it's like their eyes roll in the back of their head and they're just worn out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yo.
So he's going to the doctor because, just to make sure like he doesn't have any brain damage or anything like that from that happening or occurring. But it was the first time I've ever seen anything like that.
And then that video.
And then it was a video that was shared like 2 days later on Facebook. And that's what made me think that's what's going on with him. Because it's only happened like 2 or 3 times.
and then the idea of like
Your baby,
you
just
wouldn't know to do, like baby doesn't know to
Right.
hold your, like, what are you doing it for?
Right. He doesn't know to do that or whatever. So I've actually been doing some research on it since it's happened. And it says that like when they're in pain, they can react to it, but they can't tell you that I'm having a headache. I don't feel good to know that it's like it might be coming.
Like, baby, breathe.
Right.
So,
So,
like I can tell you to breathe, but you don't know what I'm
right.
talking about.
You can beat the baby on the back long as you like hard as you can if you want to, whatever. But that baby's not breathing. I mean, it's just not. And then I noticed that like after he had COVID, he developed asthma symptoms too. And so did I.
Yeah. And mine has gotten
Worse.
like it's been a few weeks where I've used my Halo like
I remember you
all
told me
week,
that.
constantly.
I feel fortunate, yo. It's like I was asymptomatic both times, and like, but I know people who had like long COVID.
Yeah.
I never lost smell, taste.
I didn't do any of that either.
I'm not even more tired. Like I'm not more tired. I'm functionally
Nothing.
tired. So like
Right.
I can't really tell a difference. But like I know Like my best friend had like long COVID. I know people still testing positive 16 days later. It's crazy because again, that's what I'm talking about.
And the
on
health
white
department
paper.
keeps changing the
Sure.
the day
And
to quarantine.
It impacts people differently because
Yeah.
everybody's different. So like, you know, I think you can probably tier people based on whatever, but like there's so many, it's hard to, I think, quantify all this stuff because there's so many different variants. Like
Yeah.
once you get a hold of the first strain, it's just like AIDS and HIV. Like people always, yeah, they had a cure for AIDS, the first strain, but we in 27 strains down the line by the time they had the first. I think we had like 200 something now. So it's crazy.
I kind of feel like the whole idea of medicine is not really a guarantee. You just have to wait and see because now they're saying that if you were pregnant and you took Tylenol
Yeah, that's
and your
wild.
child has autism,
Look, that's why.
wild.
and that's
a lot
all
of-
they that's all they tell
Everybody
you.
take Tylenol.
And that's all they tell you can take when you're pregnant is Tylenol.
So then you think about in my work why so many people are being diagnosed with ADHD and autism.
Mhm. And a lot of
Yeah,
a lot of people have been diagnosed with autism lately.
yeah.
Like I've met a lot
Yeah.
of women with autistic children.
And they autistic women that just never got a diagnosis whose mothers also took
Mhm.
Tylenol. So like alcohol, fetal alcohol syndrome and stuff like that. That was like a blanket reason for these
Mhm.
diagnoses. But now, 20 years later, 30,
Tell me.
years later,
Yeah.
when
Takes
when the
time.
work comes out, you find these things out. I asked the other day, a lot of people know that I did one of the COVID research studies, and I was released from the study Friday. I think it ended Friday.
Mhm.
I was like, she's like, do you have any questions? I was like, one question that I do have is, have we gotten any other reports of people that have either developed asthma or worsened asthma? And she's like, nah, like we wouldn't know because the study was done in so like over so many places. We don't have that yet. We don't know yet.
I got,
I have an inhaler now, and I never had asthma problems.
lung scarring, all that kind of stuff. Is happening.
Just right.
Because it's your
What- that's what
respiratory
I'm saying.
system.
They
from,
know
from this
anything
particular
will-
one. So the
Uh-huh.
one that I did was a Johnson and Johnson study, and
Oh, because that's
Nah.
the vaccine that you had.
yeah,
Okay.
no. Other than the fact that it worked, like it prevented COVID, and if it didn't, the people that got it or that were reinfected, it was
The
much
symptoms were
easier.
mild.
Yeah, very mild symptoms. The next time, that's all they know so far. That's all that they've released so far.
Because I did get vaccinated. I had the Pfizer,
Mhm.
but then I didn't get COVID until after I got the vaccination. I had it 3 times.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And my sons had COVID once and RSV
But
at the same, like,
think
and they're
about-
both respiratory things.
right, you think about where you work. You think about
He goes to daycare.
being around other people and other children and other,
Mhm.
Asymptomatic people that don't have somebody to call and say, like, I ain't calling telling them that I got that.
Which is wild.
Like,
That's-
what?
Mhm.
Hey, I was around y'all. I tested positive. Go get tested.
And
I
I
mean, it's a
had-
simple phone call.
I've had people, like my previous employer, they would like try to keep it a secret that they have it. I just wear my mask.
I need to get my money.
People will do that.
I need to get
Yeah.
paid. I can't call in. And we were hearing this in the height of the pandemic, though. Like, I'm not about to miss work for
That's
that.
how the
I
Walking
think it's
Dead
a-
started. Ain't
I
nobody
think it's
tell
attempted
everybody?
murder.
My bad.
I
Is
do.
that how it happened?
I feel like
You got zombies walking around. My fault.
you know how when people have AIDS or whatever and they knowingly give it past it to other people?
Yeah. You feel like
I
is
feel
that
like-
was-
Yeah, because people have died from COVID. So if you pass COVID to somebody knowing that you have COVID, that's attempted murder or murder.
That's okay. Okay. So how could that, like, legislation for that? Now, I think if more people saw more people dying from COVID, it would make sense. A lot of people, we're not seeing as many people die as we did every couple of weekends. Somebody
Where
going
would
to a
all
funeral.
these unexplained deaths do we know
Right.
what they're dying from?
When people say, like, well, she died from. Okay, so
Natural
let's,
causes.
natural causes. Let's go back to the cardiac arrest piece where.
Or pneumonia.
Okay.
There were a lot of at the height. There were a lot of hospitals that were not. If you had something else, they would not list COVID as a cause of death. They would
Mhm.
say died of pneumonia, died of something else, even though it was also COVID related. It's
And
crazy.
maybe COVID made
Yeah.
the pneumonia worse, and then you died from those complications.
Right.
Misty said, I have had COVID 3 times. First time I wasn't vaccinated and I literally thought I was gonna die. Like, made my peace with God and all. I got an IV infusion and was good within 24 hours.
It's different Different strokes
Different
for
for
different
people.
Folks, different folks. Hey,
So-
we're glad you're still here.
Because
though.
I
ain't lying.
remember once the first time I had it, I thought
Huh.
like I was gonna die. Like the first 2 days, it was awful. But I had like the body aching.
Same for
symptoms.
me.
That's what my mama had.
My legs were like, they felt weird. And then when I bent
Yeah.
over, I felt awkward, like trying to lean forward. It was
Like
a headache, but not really a headache, but it was
it
strange.
hurt. Like it
Yeah.
was. You felt really strange. Like I was good up until lunch.
I said,
So imagine being at
Lord.
work from 8 to 12, and then
Just
12:30, it just
hit.
hit my whole. I felt like a truck had ran me over.
Yeah, again, I was fortunate, man. I was just forced to sit down. I was like, this is cool. So what's
He said, "This is cool."
for me. Because
I can do this.
So what happened the first time? I had it 375 days apart. So the first time I had it, I got diagnosed. I tested positive the Friday I was going home for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
My mom was sad, like, cause I don't miss holidays, and like she was calling people around me to make sure like I wasn't like whatever, because she thought I was gonna die at that point in time. Like,
Right.
super sad, or whatever. This time I got tested positive the Friday before New Year's Eve weekend,
God doesn't want you to turn up.
which is fine with me.
Sit
Because
down.
again, both times
Chuck.
I was asymptomatic, so I was just chilling, like doing stuff around the house, like watching television and all that kind of stuff. So like I feel fortunate. Some of my friends, however, have went down through it, and again, I don't know what separates me from them, and that's why it's gonna take this when the white paper comes out 20 years from now. 'Cause
Like,
you got to give
is it
enough.
people with a vitamin? What's in cheese?
I love cheese.
I don't know. Makes
Like
hey,
gluten in
It's
cheese.
called makes everything better.
Right?
It
Like
does.
maybe it's something in your diet or something,
Maybe.
something in your genetics that, and these are things that they will, people with a vitamin D deficiency had a
Right.
harder time with COVID.
Or people who are anemic and
You don't like the sun? You don't like to be outside? Get you step up.
A vitamin D deficiency.
And I actually got an iron infusion one day last week.
Eat more greens.
It doesn't.
you need
it's
some
not that-
roughage.
It's not
Yeah,
that.
and then like
it's not
even
that
so
simple,
sickle cell trait, different things like that. That's I have sickle cell trait, so I often think about like how maybe that contributes to some things that I deal with. People that have immunodeficiency disorders like lupus or something like that, but they
Mhm.
don't know that that's what it is. They just know that, hey, I got something going on. Maybe that, but hey, I'm no medical doctor.
I mean,
These are just things that I'm thinking. Misty, this time 2 weeks ago, same as the first, and I'm dealing with the aftermath of COVID, and docs were so laxed. Like, just fight through it. It has been horrible. So Misty's on her third time, and she's thinking that she should get the booster. And that is kind of what I've been posing, okay, so we're all these different variants and they're coming out with these boosters, but are the boosters, are they equally made for the new variant, or are they just like, we don't even know what I'm getting a booster like?
like what are the
what am I
boosters like?
boosting?
Like normally, like when you get vaccines, basically it is the virus or whatever,
Mhm.
so your body can learn can develop antibodies to
Right.
fight it off.
Right.
So are we getting COVID put into our systems with
And
these
again-
vaccines and
A little bit.
boosters?
Again, it's so
Tad
new
bit.
that you don't know whether or not, like, again, this is like the garden variety, right? Like, so you can do it across the board, but you don't know whether or not this impacts different people, ethnicity wise,
Mhm.
health wise, just disproportionately. You don't know.
So, as we said when we started talking about COVID 2 years, 3, however many years ago it's been,
May 14th, 2020. I mean, March.
March.
Sorry.
2020.
years?
Yeah, so
That's
about
when the
3
world shut
years.
down.
Yeah.
God.
Like it was trickling out, but everybody know the world shut down on March 14th.
Oh yeah, it did, and I know
Hard
because
stop.
that was 6. I had 6 days to say I'm going to call this wedding off. Thank you, COVID.
Nah.
Wait, what?
I saw you on the
my wedding
news,
date
like,
was set
it
for
ain't
March
hell.
20th, 2020.
Huh.
Let's play a sound effect.
You remember when
for
she came
that.
when she went on the news? Y'all remember that?
No, sorry. So yeah,
They were interviewing her on the news
Yeah, it
about
was,
About her wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You a celebrity.
And I saw her and I was like,
Three-time Abby Award
Oh,
winner,
good.
look, I was watching
author, book writer.
I was watching the news. I was like, she ain't doing it.
I mean,
Look at her. Oh, look at her face. She
yeah,
not
sure,
doing it.
whatever. More comments are coming in. And Ken, I have never had COVID, nor have I taken the vaccines. I'm around all kinds of people all the time, and I've traveled to several states, such as California. We didn't have variants until we had the vaccine. Also, 58% of people who are dying from COVID had the vaccine, and that my
I don't know about
people
that.
look, that my people is kind of what
They've never had
everybody's saying.
So they've never had COVID, but did he have a cold and just didn't
Right.
get tested for
I mean, that's the
COVID?
thing.
So I mean, so can you truly say that you've never had COVID?
Yeah, because you truly don't know. This is my sinuses.
Because a lot of people now, I know my people around me, they're like, I've never had COVID that I know of. They
Right.
always put that caveat in there now. It's like, I may have had it, I just didn't know.
I mean, I think that's the best way to go about it. I honestly think that I've had it. I know I had it once for sure because all of us at the station had it. I'm like, it was on this mic. So that was the first time. It had to be because on the people that got it were the ones of us that talked on the mic. Sales didn't get it. We got it. That was really different. And then after that, so after you have it one time, you know what you felt like the first time. But what
So
do
for
you
me,
think?
it's different. Like I said, but it's different for me. Like I said, I was asymptomatic. So what happened the first time? I was at a Christmas party, and I was sick as a dog on like I went to a Christmas party on Saturday. On Sunday, I thought I was gonna die, but I just didn't even think anything about COVID. I woke up on Monday. I was good. Went to work. Everything was cool. Then people who were also at that same Christmas party,
Mm,
they felt ill. Again, I was down and out for
a
one day.
day.
They started to feel ill, trickle in, whatever. So like people started hitting me up on Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday, didn't really. It was one person, but by Wednesday, multiple people who were at that same Christmas party tested positive. So I took a test on Wednesday evening. I was negative. Thursday, I was negative. Friday, I'm headed to Montgomery for Christmas. Again, my parents old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, let me take a test one more time. And on Friday is when I tested positive. I was sick for one day. It's just so that's what I'm saying. It's different. It impacts people differently, yo. And you just can't. I don't know. There's ever an across the board remedy
Yeah.
is why you still have like, as what he said, 58% of people who had to. I don't know if I trust those numbers. I don't know because you can make numbers do whatever you want numbers to do. And I don't know how you actually know because in order to report that, you had to have known that you had COVID, right? Or you had to have known that you got this booster shot.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Well,
It's weird.
Let's see. Caller, you're in with Vital. Turn your radio down. Listen through your phone. What you got for us?
Well, now I was texting you,
Hey.
but so I'm gonna answer her question. No, I have not had COVID, nor have I had a cold
Okay.
in 25 plus years. So,
Mhm.
all right, but I know 10 people at least.
Okay.
I know one who had a heart attack, who met two other people because the Pentagon have not had unmandated the vaccine.
Okay.
So there's two guys that are that he met personally that we are talking that having side effects from the vaccine. A friend of mine, his brother just died in his house who was vaccinated. A young girl, 9 years old in Las Vegas, just died. Another football player that was 38 died about a month ago.
I did see that.
I can keep going down. There's a lady who died on her wedding day in Trinidad who was also vaccinated.
Okay.
These are just some. Okay. So there are, and then there was 55,000 pages that haven't got to you all yet that the FDA, the pharmaceutical companies had to release because the federal government made them release, and there was incriminating evidence. Some of the evidence is being put out right now on Twitter,
Okay.
and that Fauci had social media companies to hide this information. There's a lot going on right now that we need to pay attention to.
Gotcha. All right. So, okay. I do believe that when the government had to be involved in COVID, like for real, it's a whole worldwide pandemic. The government had to have part in it. It's affecting citizens. We got to have medication. New York got body trucks and refrigerator. I mean, yeah, we got to be involved in it. And there have to be some things that I think we would keep from the general public to not cause mass hysteria.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You don't
I
think
mean,
so?
I mean, there was a lot of stuff out there. Number one. Number two, I have to start treading lightly on political statements. But you know, the only one of the positives of COVID is President Trump ain't the president because of COVID. That's a factor. Like, let's be real about that. Number three, I mean, I don't know. There's an audience. I don't want to say conspiracy theories or whatever.
But
like,
yeah,
I mean, you know, you go down YouTube and you can get caught up and go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Whatever.
but yeah. So okay, thinking about how where we are with the pandemic. We're still in it. People are still dying. There's a new COVID strand. As with anything else, your personal responsibility for yourself and for everybody around you is to know that you are safe and protected.
Right.
When you feel sick in any way, and I would say, and Benadryl can't fix it, or
Right.
Theraflu can't fix it, or hot tea won't fix it. You know what that is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what
Hot
that is.
toddies won't fix
Yeah.
it.
Like, okay, so I tried that and I didn't give it 3 days. I did that the first day.
Right.
Then the government also sent out free COVID tests to
Right.
people's homes. So now
I ain't never taken one of those.
I ain't gonna lie, I tried and the junk didn't. I don't know if it
I
didn't
don't
work
trust-
or I didn't do it right or what.
I don't trust myself to stab my brain cell because
But look, the home ones say you don't even have to do all of that.
I go to the
You don't
doctor
do it
every
at
time.
all.
I've probably taken more COVID tests than anybody I know. I've probably taken close to 50 COVID tests because of my parents. So like when I was going home, I took a test. I would always take 2 tests every time I went home.
I get it.
So because again, my dad diabetic, my dad got asthma, he got high blood pressure. My mama got all this other kind of stuff going on. So like,
And their age, like just
and I wasn't
thinking
gonna
that
be the one to
alone,
give
right?
it to him. So
yeah.
I took multiple. I would always take 2 tests. Like if I'm going home on Friday, I would take a test on Wednesday and I'll take a test on Friday or whatever. I always had a mask on, all that, because again, that's your personal, like you say, personal responsibility. I ain't trying to, just because I feel fine or like whatever, I ain't trying to impact nobody else.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I mean, yeah. And that's kind of what it is. And
CMOS ain't gonna save everybody.
I'm not right. And I'm not going to argue with anybody who feels that me taking the vaccine or being aware and cautious, I may not be on the level as my parents or somebody. I mean, like, nah, I'm cool. I'm confident that I'm okay. But I'm not going to be ignorant to the point or to the fact that I can't get sick again or that I may have something and not, like, come on now. So it's just, I think it's just a certain level of independent responsibility that we have to take. Ken says pharmaceutical medicine don't fix nothing. I can say that there are some things that pharmaceutical medicine have truly saved my life with.
Yeah,
like I cannot say
that's
that.
too far.
Yeah, I can't say that.
You got to say you can't be on the extremes.
Yeah, it's some gray area. If I didn't have my inhaler, or if I didn't like, I ain't had that Benadryl at the 8 Ball MJG concert, your girl might not have been on the mic tonight.
Listen, if you telling me that you telling me Excedrin don't make my headache go away?
Okay,
I mean, come on, fam. Like,
there are some scientists who actually do a good job at concocting these things that actually help us.
He
And
did like
I'm
to save your
grateful.
life.
Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm not gonna risk it, but I do understand how some people have phobias.
Sure, but I ain't judging those folks.
Right, but they be
Like,
judging us when we say we want to get well or take care of ourselves. I don't get it.
It's like, you don't want to do it, that's fine. You want to do it, that's fine. I don't care what you do. Like, just do whatever you think you should be doing. I gotta get out of here though, man. It's good to see y'all. Happy New Year. I said I was running late. And
You did, but you're acting like we're not on a whole radio. Just
I was
like
telling- I
like
was
we're
telling the
sitting in the living room.
Oh, that's the way I view this.
I know. I gotta go to the restroom.
That's why I'm just myself.
Shooting to the kitchen, guys. Okay.
Authenticity.
Happy to have you here, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad everybody's safe. Old boy who called in, sorry for the losses and all that. So
For sure.
You know,
Y'all
be easy in these cold streets.
Absolutely. Yeah. Going in
And,
these
you
cold
know,
streets.
hey, listen. Oh, also,
Uh-huh.
let me say this.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, day of service, King. I get it. That's
Mhm.
cool. But what you doing the other 364 days out of the year too? Like y'all shouldn't just do all this stuff just on because that's what people want to do. They want to go clean up some stuff, do this, participate, put it on Facebook, some sort of social media,
what?
and then on Tuesday they don't care about people no more until King in 2024. So like, think about stretching out your efforts.
I like that because I can't lie. 6 o'clock for the Unity breakfast. I haven't been in years because
I'll
I
be
do
there
stuff
tomorrow.
every day.
Yeah, but still, I got.
I'm gonna do some other stuff after Brussels.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, it's not just. Hey, look, I'm glad everybody pulling up and they helping people on tomorrow. But like Tuesday then comes and like continue to help folks.
Thank
Continue.
you. Thank you, Chuck. We'll wrap. Yeah, we'll wrap. All right. So Jeter, I saw you pulling the mic to you. I think it was about this pharmaceutical med conversation, the COVID conversation, and we'll be getting out of here soon. So if you had any thoughts or comments, you can call us at 994-8949. This is your last chance. 994-8949 about anything that you've heard tonight. I'm getting text messages. Y'all can call 994-8949. This is the number. What's up, G?
I didn't have anything.
Oh, you were looking like it.
Oh no. Well, I mean,
New year, new hair, new you.
no, Chuck. But
Okay, I'm out.
bye.
So I do have a couple of announcements to share as well that I've been sent for you all specifically, vital audience. I gotta see where they are, and I should have had them at my fingertips. But here's one. Okay, let's see. Community disaster relief. Many of our sister churches, former members, and friends have inquired about ways to support the disaster relief efforts in our community. To assist community members with food, home repair supplies, toiletries, and other needed resources, enter the link below into a web browser, download the Givelify app, and search Ebenezer Baptist Selma. All right. After identifying the contribution amount, select disaster relief, and all donations are tax deductible. I'm going to share that to my social media and to our website for V949 WATV. But basically, go to Givelify and search Ebenezer Baptist Selma, and that way you can make a direct donation to the disaster relief in Selma. So that kind of goes back to something that we talked about tonight. You can be a part of that and help that way. I'm going to share that with you. Let me do that now while I'm saying it, because once we're off the air, we're off the air. So let's do that right now. Bloop. And share it on my page right now. So if you're watching, listening, or you want to find that information, go and do that. Also, join NACA during the MLK 4-day economic justice event, historic free event to create wealth through affordable home ownership. A lot of people talk about wanting to be homeowners, not understanding the process, needing support, that type of thing. This is really good. Alabama State Representative Patrick Sellers is one of the organizers here. Step 1, you're going to attend the home buyer workshop, provide information and documentation. Step 3, meet one-on-one with the NACA counselor. Step 4, your file will be reviewed for NACA qualification or next steps. The event is going on has gone on from the 13th through the 16th at First Missionary Baptist Church, 3893 John Williamson Drive in Hueytown. I'll also give you this information, or you can simply visit www.naca.com. NACA is NACA, www.naca.com, or call 425-602-6222. So if you know anybody that's looking to purchase a home, they're considering preparing to do that this year, I think this is amazing. This is something that's really great for a top of the year goal. A lot of people want to be homeowners. People are looking to expand or move, and this is great. NACA offers great help, great support for home buyers. So look into that. And it quotes this right here: the problems of racial injustice and economic injustice cannot be solved without a radical redistribution of political and economic power. I'm a fan of this. I really am. So tomorrow is going to be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at First Baptist, 3893 John Williamson Drive, Hueytown. And once again, I told you, you can go to NACA.com. Okay. So that's that. That is that. I'm trying to see, do we have any other, have I been sent? I've been sent so much, and I really appreciate it. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. All right. So I don't see the last one, but I have gotten a couple of announcements. So those are two for you to definitely keep in mind. Chuck gave you the gas giveaway tomorrow at 1 p.m. at Shell gas station on 3rd Avenue West. It's at 1. So, I mean, if you want to go hang around over in the other parking lot at 10,
Oh, no.
go do that. But courtesy of the Birmingham Urban League, go get your gas tomorrow. The breakfast tomorrow. Honestly, just being in the area, you can catch a lot of things happening. Normally, the Brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha do something in the park for King Day. It's a lot of stuff that happens. So be
The
vital
weather
on
will be
tomorrow.
nice tomorrow.
Huh?
The weather will be nice.
Okay. So cool. Right. You know, we like good. What today was nice
It
too.
was.
It really was. I really wanted to ride my bike. So yeah. Kind of looking forward to spring. Just January. January just got started.
Okay.
Coming up though, like January did just get started. We're still new, all things new within the first month of the year here on Vital. But coming up in February, Love Month, and you know we're really big for DMR. Got some couple stuff coming. We did the vision board party, vision board mixer, New Year's Eve. We do it New Year's Eve annually. Counselor Courtney, Purpose Hope Family Counseling, and Lady Wu and Vital Life Family Counseling are teaming up to bring that around to intimate relationships. We want vision and purpose in intimate relationships. So we're doing a couples vision mixer. And not only are we doing vision, but we're talking about couples concerns, issues, and kind of building community around relationships. It could be really dim and trim when it comes to relationships. And I think we're going to pump some life into that. So be looking out for those details really, really soon during Love Month. It's a whole month. It ain't just Valentine's Day. It's a whole month to work on your love. Gito, what you know? Anything you know about that's going on? Anything? Like, it's a lot, but what?
No.
Nothing.
No. No.
I will say this. We are not going to any of the parties tomorrow with Dr. King with the grill.
No, baby, we're not going to be able to do that. Can y'all stop doing it? Like next year, let's just
Like, don't
something
do it.
different. Yeah, it's just not a good look.
It's
It's not- you know, and we talked about
why
like,
y'all want to do that?
yeah, we talk about, you know, people not being inclusive, but why would you want to include people
Girl.
who look at their lost leaders in that such way? It's really horrible.
I used to think it was is this just a joke or
It's not funny.
is it real?
It is probably real.
I always wondered that. Like, I want to go see one of the parties. I do remember,
you don't.
like, yeah,
No, you
because I
don't.
want to know if it's real.
Yeah, it definitely sound like
It was real.
it sounds real, and it sounds like it's one of those all you can drink, all you
Nothing
can eat
about
until it run out.
dreaming. Nothing about vision. Nothing about forward
Nah.
living. It's a good time. Like, of course, it's like we say, the theme, the slogan for King Day all along has been a day on, not a day off. But I was having a conversation with the family the other day, and it was like, well, we don't barbecue on King Day. And I'm like, we don't.
No, we don't. Should we start that?
I
Should that be a
kinda-
tradition.
I almost want to, but I think the reason we don't is because it's in January and you don't know what the weather's going to do. Right?
And you're supposed to be out
Serving.
other people.
So
So
maybe we should barbecue for other people.
maybe.
Ribs is high, wool.
Man, what?
Okay, guys. So yeah, I'll make tomorrow, make every day count, but be vital tomorrow. Do something. And like I do have the idea that I do something most every day. So tomorrow not necessarily being a day off, even if it's a day of service where you do something unique. I don't know what that may be, but something that you don't always do, right? Like I don't always do this, but it's something that I would like to do. I think this would help someone. Something
And it
that you
doesn't
can
even
do to
really
help
have to
somebody.
be, a day of service. Make it a day of reflection. What is something that you would like to accomplish this year? Write it down
Yeah.
and make it happen.
Okay. Simple as that. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for commenting. We're gonna go check a couple of comments before we go on our social media. Let's see. Pastor Larry and I are participating in the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Unity Breakfast. I'm singing with the choir, and he'll be playing his congas. I ain't know that till now, but that's
That
what's
sound
up.
like a good time.
Yeah, and it is. She used to sing with the choir years back, so I'm glad that she's back doing that. And I just didn't know, so that's good to know. I would have went to rehearsal.
Okay.
I would have gone, maybe. And you said you're working it.
Yeah, I'm gonna work the unity breakfast with my mom.
I just love it, Jeter.
Yep, me and my daughter.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk about that off air. Ken says we should celebrate with music, food, and all kinds of festivities. I mean, it is a birthday celebration.
So we
You know, we
definitely need some baked beans and potato salad.
you know, okay, you know we like to be festive. So with the weather being nice tomorrow, I do look forward to seeing your pictures and posts about how you celebrated. Did you teach somebody something? I do plan on having a conversation, if nothing else, with those around me about how vital they are being on a daily basis. And can we pick up from this? I'm glad his birthday is in January. It's at the top of the year. Be more vital. Do more positive things. Do more things that are bigger than yourself. Give to organizations. Support HBCUs. Speak at schools, read to kids, help the elderly. Go to church. Don't have church hurt over stuff that humans do. Like I say all the time, people gonna be people. They gonna be people if they at church, at work, or on the porch. They gonna be the same people.
Yep.
But be vital. Like whatever. Be vital. Miss Angeline says, great, Jeter. We'll look for you at the breakfast. All right, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow at noon for the free lunch flashback. So while you getting your breakfast on, I'm going to be serving up some good lunch with some old school throwbacks. And then the midday fun shui will kick off immediately following that. So if you got any requests and you want to get them in, you can send them to me right now before I get out of here. Y'all, be vital.